So there's this animal sitting in your house right now? Maybe it's on the couch. Maybe it's staring at you. Maybe it's literally just waiting for you to look at it. And you think you know this animal. You don't. Because what's sitting next to you today is the result of one of the most bizarre, accidental, and honestly kind of mind-blowing transformations in the history of life on this planet. And here's the kicker. We didn't cause it. They did. Okay, so rewind. 40,000 years ago, no cities, no phones, no grocery stores. Humans are just moving, hunting, barely surviving. And wolves are everywhere. Fast, smart, territorial, built to kill. And for most of prehistory, humans and wolves are just enemies. Same prey, same land, same hunger, direct competition. So somebody explain to me how one of those wolves ended up sleeping on your couch. Here's the thing nobody talks about: we didn't domesticate dogs. Dogs domesticated themselves. A small group of wolves, probably the bold ones, the curious ones, the ones that weren't as scared, started following human camps around. Not because anyone invited them, because they figured something out. Humans are messy, loud, wasteful, always leaving scraps behind. And if you're a wolf willing to get just a little bit closer, there's food. Consistent food. Every single day. The wolves that weren't afraid survived better, had more pups. Those pups were also less afraid. And that just kept going, generation after generation, for thousands of years. Nobody planned this. No human sat down and said, I'm going to turn this wolf into a Labrador. It just happened. And we actually have proof of how this works. 1959. Soviet scientist named Dmitry Belyayev starts breeding foxes. Not for size, not for color, just for one single trait: tameness. He picks the least aggressive foxes and breeds them. That's it. 10 generations in the foxes start wagging their tails. 20 generations they're actively seeking human attention. 40 generations they look completely different. Floppy ears, spotted coats, shorter snouts. Nobody touched their appearance. Nobody selected for any of that. But tameness rewired everything else. That is exactly what happened to wolves naturally, over tens of thousands of years. The tame ones survived, changed, slowly became something the world had never seen before. The first dogs probably looked nothing like what we imagine. Just lean, medium-sized animals. No golden retrievers, no huskies, no pugs. Just a softer, calmer version of a wolf living at the edge of human life. And then humans started noticing them. Not as food. Not as threats. As useful. These animals could smell things we couldn't even detect, hear frequencies we didn't know existed, run at speeds no human could match. And the wild part, they wanted to be near us. That's the thing that changes everything. The wolf had become an animal that actually sought out human company. So humans started keeping them intentionally, feeding them. And, naturally, humans being humans, we started picking favorites. That one's fast. Keep it. That one barks when strangers come. Keep it. That one can track a scent for miles. Definitely keep it. That's the beginning of selective breeding. Not science, not labs, just human instinct over thousands of years. And slowly, dogs started splitting into types, into roles, into something that had genuinely never existed in nature before. An animal designed by another animal. Now, here's where it gets really strange. It's not just the body that changed. The brain changed. Dogs understand human pointing gestures. You point at something, a dog looks where you're pointing. Sounds obvious, right? Wolves don't do this. Even wolves that have been raised by humans since birth. They just don't get it. In dogs, it's not learned. It's built in. Dogs track human faces. They follow our eyes. Studies show a dog's brain responds to human voices the same way a human brain does. There's actual emotional recognition happening. No other animal on Earth does this. Not chimps, our closest relatives. Not dolphins. Not horses. Just dogs. Because for 40,000 years, the dogs that understood humans better got kept, got fed, got to have puppies. The ones that didn't make it. We accidentally engineered emotional intelligence into them. We literally bred loyalty into an animal. We didn't mean to. That's what makes it extraordinary. Fast forward to the 1800s. For most of history, dogs have jobs. Hunting dogs, herding dogs, guard dogs, they work. Then the Victorian era hits, and wealthy Europeans get absolutely obsessed with dog shows, with pedigree, with appearance. And they start doing something that changes dogs forever. They start breeding not for what a dog can do, but for how it looks. The bulldog gets its face pushed in, the dachshund gets stretched long to fit inside badger holes, the pug's nose gets flattened until breathing is actually difficult. In just a few generations, humans had taken the descendant of a wolf and turned it into something a wolf would not even recognize. Some of those changes were beautiful. Some of them were genuinely cruel. The flat-faced breeds. Bulldogs, pugs, French bulldogs, a lot of them struggle to breathe. They overheat easily. Many of them can't even give birth naturally anymore. We loved them so much we broke them. And then the 20th century comes, and we take dogs everywhere. World War I, World War II. Dogs are running messages through trenches, finding wounded soldiers in no man's land, detecting bombs before any technology could. There was a stray dog, Sergeant Stubby, who just wandered into a US Army training camp in 1917, learned the commands, deployed to France, survived 17 battles. He could smell mustard gas before the sensors picked it up. Most decorated war dog in American history. Started as a stray. Then, in 1957, a dog goes to space. Her name was Laika, a stray from the streets of Moscow. The Soviets needed a living test subject for Sputnik 2. They chose a stray because strays were already used to cold, to hunger, to not knowing what comes next. She went up. She orbited the Earth. She didn't come back. The first living creature from Earth to orbit our planet was a dog. Today, there are about 1 billion dogs on Earth. More than any large predator species has ever existed at one time in all of recorded history. They live in New York apartments and Texas ranches and Mumbai streets and Dubai palaces. Some sleep in cashmere blankets, some sleep in gutters. And here's the thing most people don't realize. Around 75% of all dogs on Earth are free-ranging strays. The pampered house pet we picture? That's actually the minority. Most dogs are still doing exactly what they've always done, living at the edges of human civilization. Scavenging, surviving, watching us. The same way those first wolves did 40,000 years ago. Nothing has really changed. So the next time you look at your dog, really look. You're looking at a wolf that made a decision. A decision that echoed across 40,000 years of evolution. That rewired its own brain, generation by generation, to understand you. Not because we forced it, not because we planned it. Because one wolf, tens of thousands of years ago, took a step toward a human fire instead of away from it. And every single dog alive today is the result of that one moment. A wolf that chose warmth over wildness. And in doing that became the only animal on Earth that genuinely, biologically, actually loves us back. That's not a small thing. That's everything.